Hey, y'all. You are listening to Definitely Not For Everyone with your girl, Nicolette, and my co-host, Diana. We are here today with Pa Lemon, one of my most favorite TikTokers. You make me feel so happy on the inside. You are so much more than that, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But can you please say hello to the listeners and the audience, please?
Hello. I usually zoom in and say hello, right? I zoom in with my face, and so hello. It's nice to meet everybody. I'm all about virtual hugs and stuff, so hello, everybody.
Yes. And okay, I'm gonna get into that. The reason
She's
why
gonna
I have
start.
you
Go
here,
ahead, baby. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The reason why I have you here, Paul, is because I say this all the time, and that's why she's laughing right now, but like, you make me happy.
Good.
The pandemic was really hard, like really, really hard. And especially all the racial stuff that was coming up. I'm half Black, my husband is Black, my baby's Black, and like all of that stuff was really, really difficult, and it hurt, and I got introduced to TikTok in the beginning, when the pandemic happened. And, I loved a whole bunch of people. And then you came on like July-ish?
August is when big things happened.
Okay.
So I think more people saw me after August.
Okay.
But I did show up in July, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. There was something about you from the beginning that I was just like, oh my God, like being in your presence, but not in your presence, on a TikTok presence. So calming and reassuring. And I wanted to have you here to just really say thank you. Like, thank you for being.
Oh, I'm smiling. I should say something. I'm just smiling.
No, you don't even have to. Thank you for being on the platform. Thank you for coming to a place where you do what you do now. Like, I really, really appreciate it. And I didn't realize how much I needed it outside of my family, if that makes sense.
I would say the same as for me. I didn't realize how much I needed it until I started making videos and started doing it nonstop, right? Like I started, all of a sudden it was every day, 3 videos, and I didn't know I needed it. I guess I did. So
Yes,
it's mutual, right? I mean, people know
is.
that, right?
What?
Yeah,
people know it's mutual, right? Like,
I don't think
maybe they don't.
do.
It's I say it often, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I say it in my lives. I do. That's where I say it. I've just started having them.
Good job.
And because nobody gets up in my house in the morning until whatever, like on the weekend. And so I just stand and drink my first coffee. That's right. Like yeah.
So. Yeah. And so it's really to say thank you to you, and to also like find out more about you. I mean, I know you do. You share so much of your life and your family and like what you do and all that good stuff. But, there are a lot of people who don't watch TikTok and who don't know you. And I would love to be able to be the one to introduce them to you. And so I wanted to have you here so that we can just like talk about you.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So usually how I begin all of our conversations is by having you either define yourself if you're comfortable with that, or maybe expressing how you're feeling like at 9-10 p.m. on what day is today? Monday night?
It's Monday.
Okay. Or maybe something like really quirky and funny about you that nobody else knows about. So Diana and I will go first, and then you can
good.
That's think good. On it. The other night we did a flip flop where I was her and she was me, and she really fucked it up. So we're not going to do that shit again. So I think we
did just establish though that if I say fuck, it's okay.
Totally okay.
Yes.
You can curse it up, girl.
Oh yeah.
You
Ask my children.
This is a curse zone here. Curse zone.
Yes.
So okay, I did not. I thought I did you very well. We've been friends for 20 years. We're both massage therapists. We met at school. So I know her very well, even though she acted up.
Obviously not. She's being like, would you like me to start, my love? Would you like me to start? Okay, go ahead, boo.
Okay. So today, I usually say I'm hungry and I'm cold. I'm usually always hungry and cold, but today I am not. I am not cold and I'm not hungry. And I am so happy to meet you and so happy to be here, even though I had some disturbing news a few hours ago. And I'm in a weird place, so forgive me, but I'm happy to be here and happy to share this time with you. So thank you. Thank you, Pa.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk when this is over, girl.
Yes, we are. It's gonna be a couple episodes of this. Let me just
Oh my God,
you.
I need to come to New York and have a drink with you guys.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, we keep saying that. We're gonna have shows with liquor. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
liquor and cursing.
Water.
Mm-hmm. I'm half Japanese, half Black. I grew up in Brooklyn. And I have 2 girls. One is 11, one is 5. I don't know why I did
this is
that.
verbatim what I said.
11 and 5.
Fuck you. Okay. Thank you.
11 and 5. Go.
11 and 5.
Yeah.
And my 5-year-old, I love her so much, but she is a lot. Like a lot. I'm a massage therapist. I am a business owner now. Like I just decided that I'm gonna have my own space in New York City, and the city is so nice and pretty and stuff. I'm very excited. I am also
never been.
You
okay, we'll talk about it. Have you been to Ontario?
No.
Okay, let's just keep going then.
All right. And
You're yeah, it's okay.
And
sorry.
What else? Something quirky about myself. I didn't realize that when you get to 40, that your nose hairs start growing longer.
I'm sorry, did you say 40?
Yes.
40 what?
40.
Well, when you hit there, she didn't say she stopped.
I'm not saying I'm 40. I'm saying that when you get to 40, okay, bitch, I know I'm 42, all right? So, when you get to 40, nobody told me, Diana, that your nose hairs start growing long.
Yeah.
And that people can see your nose hairs.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
There you go. I was very upset about that. That's my quirky thing.
Yes.
Oh my God, I got a chin hair story, but no.
Oh my God, I've been there too.
No, you know what your thing is though, is that now if your chin hairs are gray, yours show up more now. Because my wife's are easy for me to see now. I can see her. It's easy for me to see them on her and say, oh, so great. Anyway, listen, I'm Pa. What else? What am I? At 9 at night, I'm usually really tired because I usually work the day, and I do this little thing, like I work out a lot, and so I start training tomorrow for a big thing. Yeah, it's fine. It'll be canceled. I'm doing a half iron, 2 of them, if they're not canceled. So
okay.
Yeah, so I'm usually really tired at this time of night. I wear a blanket skirt all the time. I did a TikTok wearing a blanket skirt, hitting on my wife, and so I'm usually tired, and I'm snacky this time of night, and that's a problem too. And what I'm Irish, Scottish, something descent, all that European stuff. But I've dated not many people in my life. I'm just, like, let's say, I don't know. I think I probably had 4 boyfriends and 2 girlfriends, maybe, whatever. And 50% of the people that I've dated have been Black and 50% have been white.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it's a thing. So I would just say I've always been someone who's just dated someone I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's, but because not everybody's done that, right? Not everybody's, so that's never been a thing for me. But I'm learning every day about what I don't know. That's
okay. Yes. Right? Yes. Definitely.
More white people need to say that.
It's so damn true.
Right?
Totally.
Yeah. Keep it light, but
that's a whole nother show too.
The says a lot.
There.
So yep.
Yeah.
But let's get into some of the questions. And how about you ask it, Di?
The first question? Yeah. Well, we like to start at the beginning. So can you share with us about who, as Nikki would say, who your people are and your parents? You have any siblings? Like your
Oh God.
childhood. What was it
Mm.
like?
So I'm a big split built on top of kind of family. So my parents divorced. There was 4 kids. Parents divorced. Both remarried the correct people. Right? They both remarried the correct people, which is why I completely believe in true love, because I see it in my parents. And they both brought kids. So with them to the marriage. So I have a sister. It's a birthday.
Yes.
Sister.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
I know. I took her some homemade Pop-Tarts where I got the recipe
You
on
make
TikTok.
homemade pop.
I make good pastry. I have pastry hands. That's my pop. My grandfather was a pastry chef, and I got it from him, his hands. Anyway, I don't make it. I make it twice a year, but birthday sister. So and then I have 5 brothers.
Whoa. Okay.
2 biological brothers,
Right.
1 stepbrother, 2 stepbrothers, but they've been my brothers, my stepbrothers, for over 40 years.
Wow. That's family.
So they're my
right
brothers.
there.
There's
That's
no
right.
step, there's no whatever. So that's my family. Big.
So how old are you when your parents divorced?
I think I was 3 or 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm the baby.
Oh.
I'm
you
the baby.
Right.
I'm the
Okay.
baby. But I
All
have a stepbrother who's a month and 6 days younger than me. He's a fucking baby.
Okay.
Month and 6
That
days.
sounds
He's the baby.
personal.
Yeah,
All
well, we
right.
have fun with that. I'm like, he's like, you're so old. And I'm like, you're such a baby. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So did you end up going to live with your mom or your dad?
So I stayed with my mom,
Mhm.
dad, and that was, you know what, that was gross for a while. And I'm
That's
really proud
weird.
of them. I'll share that little thing about them, is I'm really proud of the 4 of them, because there was a lot of that. And that's just people being hurt and right. And kids, right? Kids went this way and kids had to go that way. And that was all really hard. But about, I don't even know when it was. I'm going to guess that it was like 6 or 7 years ago. The 4 of them had a conversation
6
and
or 7 years ago?
decided, let's stop having the kids have to have 2 birthday parties and right. And let's stop that. And they organized my sister's birthday, actually. So I wonder how many years ago it was, because it was like now, this time of year. And they organized a party, the 4 of them together, and we all came to the party, and they were civil, and it was good. And that's been great. So that's been great. So that, yeah. So those things take a while, but
So that
good.
took 24
Yeah.
years.
More. Yeah, for sure. It took a long time.
Wow.
It took a long time, but it's good. I'm glad that they
finally
did that. And that's, yeah. So, but my parents are very romantic with each other, and they're very loving with each other, and it's wonderful. So I was born in Ontario, grew up in Nova Scotia, moved back to Ontario when I fell in love. And that was easy to do because I had family here. So, and I was kind of unemployed. I was working, but it wasn't a good job.
Yeah, your career, right.
I had just come back from BC having my heart broken. And so I was living with friends and I got a job, but it wasn't, so it was easy to move.
Yeah. So I was watching one of your TikToks, and you were mentioning how you didn't know that you were, right? Like you didn't know at all. Like that wasn't even a thought in your mind, but it wasn't like your parents were like, no, or you can't.
Oh
do
no,
that,
we grew
like
up in the theater. Like we grew up in the theater. Like my grandfather was in the first season of Stratford, surrounded by gay people, right? Like, and I grew up acting, and my parents were actors, and we've all been actors forever. And so gay people were everywhere, but we didn't talk about it. But we also didn't talk about straight stuff. So it was like we just didn't talk about it. It wasn't like we didn't. So yeah, and my best friend came out to me when she was 17. I'm like, that's great. Just don't fall in love with me because I'm your best friend. And she goes, yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm like, great. Great. And
so when did
I was single for 7 years, and then met someone I worked with, and I'm like, oh, she's nice. She was writing me letters, and she had a boyfriend, but you know what? Yeah. So she had a boyfriend, and then we got together, and then she broke up with him, and then she was with me, and then she met a guy and got with him, and she's lovely, but that's just how she ends relationships. Anyway, they had several kids together, and that was meant to be. So it's fine. I met her.
That's right. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Fine.
Yes. So can you tell me how y'all met?
Xena? How to make Xena?
Yes. I
So,
know how, but like.
so you do know how I was on TikTok. I made one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I was living with friends and I got an email address, probably to get a job. I had to get an email address. So I got an email address and it was a Yahoo email address and there was lesbian Yahoo chat rooms. And I'm like, so I was at the stage where I'm like, am I a lesbian? Was I in love with Barbara? Quotes. Was I in love with this? It's not her name. Was I in love with her or what? Right?
Yeah.
Because I'd never had an inkling the whole time. I was definitely feeling a little bit like, was it the person? Or is it women? Right? Like, and that's fair. Like, I'm not biphobic, so right? Like,
yeah,
it's just who knows. Anyway, so I went into lesbian chat rooms because it was really easy to talk to women. So just learned how to navigate all of that. And we just, I don't know, lesbian chat rooms are really weird. You could get slotted into room 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and you don't know if you're going to be in the room. So she must have said something about karate or Ontario or London. She wouldn't have said London. She's too private. She's an accountant, not a TikTok accountant. She's an accountant. Anyway.
I saw that one. Okay.
Yeah. So she must have done that, or I said something about Halifax, and because her grandmother lived in Halifax and my family lives in Ontario. So that must have been it. So we would have chatted a little bit, and then we would have chatted the next time and seen each other in there. But my ex called me on what would have been our anniversary. She's lovely.
I love how you keep saying she's lovely.
She really is. She just doesn't, I don't know. She just didn't have a lot of tact.
Learned, right?
She hadn't. Like, no, and she just was being nice and calling and seeing how I was. She was down south somewhere planting trees or something. Anyway, she's a granola girl. Yeah. So anyway, she and so I was devastated that she called on what would have been our anniversary while she was off planting trees with the dude. So so I went on this Yahoo chat room and I saw Xena. And I'm like, hey, can we go chat in a private room? I'm really upset right now. She goes, I don't do cyber sex. I'm like, yeah, well, that's not what I want. I just want to chat. So she might kill me. No, she won't. So we went in that room and we had a great conversation and we talked about lots of things. And then we would pop into rooms to find each other and chat all the time. And I think she had a rough day one day. Something was upsetting her, and she had told me her real name in unlike her email in one of the chat rooms once, and I looked her name up. It was like only one Xena last name in her city, and I called her and we started talking on the phone. And
go ahead, Paul.
That's that. I don't know.
Yes.
But it was just because she was having a bad day.
Yeah.
So our relationship, it was fast, right? January 20. Well, we'd been chatting a little bit, I'm sure, as buddies, but from the first individual conversation on January 25th to her flying to meet me, March 21st, which is our anniversary. That's 2 months. So that's pretty quick.
Yes.
It's very quick.
And then I moved here in May.
Shit.
Wow. Oh no.
And then it's been 22.
I lived with my parents.
Okay.
I had a bed there.
Okay.
I had some clothes there. Yeah.
Technically.
I stayed at her, but technically. Right. How we lesbians do it. I'm just saying. It's women are easy to, yeah.
So what do you do? What is your life work? Tell me about.
So I am a board certified behavior analyst.
Wow.
So I'm a behavior clinician. Work with children on the spectrum and children. Yeah, that's what I do.
That's so cool.
So it's pretty cool. I went back and got my master's when I was 40 and went through that whole thing and how old were the kids? I don't know how old they were. So 9. So my youngest was 6. Yeah. 2 kids. The oldest is 17 going on 18. Does everybody like the sound of music? Yeah,
Yes.
17. Yeah. And my youngest is 15. It's not going to
Aw,
be 16 till the fall. So yeah.
okay.
Oh, it's still,
So two boys.
Two
still young
boys.
adults and teenagers. Not even
Yes,
young
there
adults, right?
yes.
Is that young adult?
Well, young
No.
adult
Yeah.
17. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in his last course right now. So he's
Yes.
done high school. So
So
it's
in
crappy year. Crap.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
yeah,
know.
it really
I
is.
had went through that myself. I have a 26-year-old,
Yeah.
21-year-old, and a 14-year-old. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
have, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
rough
been a
time.
rough year.
He's you know what? He's being very graceful. I love him. He's a great guy. He's the one that comes in the TikToks. The other
Yes, he
one that
does.
Okay.
Yeah,
the one that took me from 80 followers to 9,000 followers in a hot minute
that
will
was it.
not be in any more TikToks.
Oh,
None.
why?
None. I don't know.
What
Doesn't want him.
happened? What
He lets
happened?
me put a picture every now and again. He's 15.
True.
He's lovely.
True.
That's all it takes.
That's all
Yeah.
it takes.
He'll let
That's
me
what
put
you get.
pictures in sometimes, like a
Isn't
quick
that
little
funny?
family zip through. He's cool with that, but yeah, but that's it. But then the other one, he'll do them with me. Like he'll give me a smooch on the cheek or whatever. So.
Yeah. Aw,
Yeah.
that's so
Oh,
cute.
Yeah.
How old were they when you adopted?
No,
Surrogate?
this is great. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So we both had a child. We both had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she went first because she's 7 years older
Mm-hmm.
and took 13 tries. I did say that in a TikTok. Took 13 tries. First day we tried was September 11th. The September 11th.
Mm.
And we remember going to the clinic, like, do we want to get pregnant today? Are the souls in the universe happy today? I don't think so. Anyway, didn't work. We didn't get pregnant that time.
Mhm.
But then it was 12 tries later that she got
Wow.
pregnant, and we almost stopped trying with her and switched to me because it was just so stressful and sad, and
Yeah.
a lot of she ended up needing a lot of medications and stuff to boost the egg count and stuff near the end. Anyway, he's lovely, he's good.
Yes, yes.
Honor student, it's good. So and so then we waited a little bit, and then I had the second one, same donor,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 tries, easy peasy, average of 8, which is what they say. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we each had a child, same donor. Don't know the donor. 92796. I don't know what the donor is. Unknown.
82045.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And the question I dislike the most, just in case I get any, people hear this and they're like, oh, let's follow her and ask her questions. The question I dislike the most is, oh, are they going to meet the donor when they get older? Ask me a question about my family first. Ask me a question about how whole family we are first, and then ask me that. That's all. It's okay. I get why. I understand. So this is where you might know more. This is where maybe you understand a bit more about my TikToks, because I'm a behavior analyst. I'm also a solution focused coach. So it's a counseling type thing, but I'm not a counselor. I just use support positive language. I don't focus on problems. I focus on solutions and people's strengths and stuff. And I also train people in crisis intervention, physical and emotional crisis intervention. So I just don't like the negative stuff. I just can't, so when people ask me those questions, I very gracefully just talk about it in a very positive light as much as I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where your positive energy comes from, through your TikToks.
Yeah.
You can feel it. You can honestly feel it. It's wonderful to watch.
Can you talk
a little
bit about the triathlon and the Ironman?
Oh, yeah.
Training.
So Tristan, I was a competitive swimmer when I was little, and I was little then. And then I did a little karate then and too. And then I got mono, and everything changed. I couldn't really do the stuff I used to. And then university, play badminton. You don't get super fit playing badminton. You can be really good at badminton, but you don't get. Anyway, by the time I, had my relationships and had fallen in love and had all those little mushy things and babies and stuff, I was kind of out of shape, even though I'd been doing karate for a little bit. And so when our youngest was a year old, I'm like, I'm going to get a trainer. And I got a trainer because I wanted to run again and do those things again, but I wasn't in the shape to do it.
Right.
And so I really worked on strength, which I hadn't done for a long time. And I think if you've ever been an athlete, even if it was when you were 9
high
to
school.
15, 16,
that was
you
it.
don't lose it. You don't
That's
lose
right.
the athlete, but you can be out
That's
of
right.
shape,
That's right.
you know. Yeah. So anyway, so it was pretty easy for me. And then that's when I started running. It was in 2007. I started running. I ran a 5K, and then I ran a 10K, and then got up to marathons, and then I did an ultra 50K trail race in the snow, rain, slushy. Anyway, and so but I was never really getting faster.
Right.
And I was surrounded by people that I trained with who were always getting faster and talking about faster times. And I'm like, what the fuck is this faster time shit? It's not happening.
Right.
So it's not happening for me. So the Y had a triathlon club, and I thought, I'm going to join the Y triathlon club because I was a competitive swimmer. I just had to get my ass back in the pool.
Right.
And I figured I could figure out the bike thing. I'd biked from my town to the beach once when I was little. That was far. I think I looked it up, and it's like 8 kilometers now, but I thought it was far.
Yes.
Right. But everything that I've done as an athlete has been from 5K to marathon. And so the same thing with triathlon. I started with a sprint, which is a shorter triathlon. It's a 750 swim, 20K bike, 5K run. So it took me about an hour and a half, right? So, and then I moved up to an Olympic, and then to a couple of half Ironmans. And I was going to do my Ironman right before I turned 50, which is this year. But a couple of years ago, I'm like, well, I've already done a couple of half Ironmans. I'm not injured right now, so I should just do it now. And so I did. So I trained for it.
That is crazy.
It was intense. The training is intense. It's so much. But then I finished my first ever Ironman in the summer of, I don't know, what year is it now? 2020, 2018, 2017?
Wow.
2018. I don't know. 2018, I think.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm
Took me
telling
two work days. 14 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. What makes you get up and say, I'm gonna do this? Where does that come from?
I think because I stopped worrying about getting faster, and I wanted something new and different. And I think because I'd done marathons, and I'd done a couple of adventures where you do a long run on one day, and like I did the Goofy in Disney. You run a half marathon on Saturday and a full marathon on Sunday.
Yes.
And so I guess I just wanted to, I don't know. I've done a couple of half hour, and I just didn't worry about being fast. I'm fit, but I'm not skinny, and I'm not gonna be fast. And but I definitely have the body that can do something for a really long time.
Right.
That's
But
so
I just think that
cool.
it's amazing.
That's so cool.
Because like some people are like, yeah, I'm gonna go run, and I might do a marathon, or whatever the case is, but they kind of stay in that lane. You know what I mean? Like they don't even try to, they don't think that it's I just think it's amazing that you were like, well, if I can do this, then I can do this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this. Like,
and then do it.
Yeah.
And then do it.
Yeah. That's what?
Yeah. I'm surrounded by people that support that. And
so cool.
Right. And I understand behavior and motivation, and I understand I understand barriers. I understand the power of positive thinking. I understand all of those things. And my wife's brilliant. She's so supportive. She does them.
Really?
She's done a half Ironman, and she's going to do 2 this year. We're both a little COVID soft.
Yeah.
So it's going to be slower.
We all are.
This year.
Yeah.
It's going to be slower. So that's okay. We got to be careful. Like her knee's bugging her a little bit, but that's because her hip is a little tight from we're sitting more, right?
Yep.
Like we're, COVID, we work from home, both of us.
So that's great. That's a blessing that you're able to
it's a blessing, and we still get along. And we like each other still. Yeah.
Very much so.
Very much. Yeah. Yeah. This is my office. Her office is in the den. Yeah.
I love it.
So
I also wanted to ask you, I think I have like maybe 2 more questions, but
okay.
So you do a lot of speaking about how teachers and others can support like the LGBTQ parents and families and that community. Can you speak on that a little bit more, and then also like kind of give us some pointers too as to like how we can help in some way?
I'll send you a website later.
Okay.
Because
good.
that'll be good. So
Yeah.
where we were interviewed as a family. So the girlfriend from Halifax to Vancouver to break my heart, that one.
Yeah.
So she had a friend who lived in the Kootenays. So we went to the Kootenays one. I was in Vancouver for a year with her. That was great.
Okay.
So we went and met this person. She was great. And so I stayed connected with her in a weird way. I don't know how it happened, but she's a musician as well. But she went to the University of Toronto and we were friends on Facebook. And she shot out an email and said, I'm looking for families who are willing to talk about their experience as a LGBTQ plus family in the school system. I'm like, I'll do it. I'm always ready to talk. This is it, right? I'm always ready to talk. So a minute's not enough on TikTok. So I have to make a lot of them. Part 1, part 10. Anyway, nobody watched those. Those parenting ones had no views. Anyway, that's fine. I'll do them again. But so she came down and it was part of her doctorate, I assume. And it was just interviewing parents on that aspect. And I just had a lot to say. First of all, we live in a neighborhood that is there's a lot of gay people in our neighborhood, but it's not the majority. And it's we're in a bit of a snotty city. It's lovely. A little snotty, a little white, a little, I say that. And anyway, I don't know what kind of budget I get there, but I have a little bit of a budget because I'm the only white one in the house, and the cat, but
and she's half white. The cat.
She's only half white.
She's half white.
I don't think we mentioned.
Is that Black Irish? Is that a thing? I don't know. Yeah, that's just hair, I think. But anyway, so I kind of have an understanding. I have more of a stronger understanding of that relationship. So anyway, so we just talked about the school, and even though we're at a great school and we've been out as a family since the beginning, and the daycare has been open and understanding, and you get some weird stuff every now and again, like, what do you guys want us to do on Father's Day? I'm like, nothing. If he needs to make something, he can make something for his grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So then I'm like, but they're always like, oh yeah. So I think, so this is where that I'm open to do interviews about that, because I just assume people just don't know.
Right.
And if you don't want to hear what I have to say, then that's your problem. But I'm more than happy to say it, right? TikTok, there was a great thing I heard on TikTok. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Boom. Yes.
Have you heard that on there? I've
no,
heard that
but I'm getting it.
I love that.
I'm gonna put it on.
You should get it on a t-shirt.
That should be a
we
t-shirt.
should.
We're gonna
Let's
find
do
that,
it.
Mama.
I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Yes.
Type it, write it down.
I'm writing it down right now.
It's not mine. It's not me. Somebody else said it, but it's So we did this interview. We had some stories just about educators who needed to unlearn some things, right? Like they just have, but that's the kind of teacher they are anyway, right? They have the same reading list every year that, the kid down the street's mom was like, the same fucking book.
Same
like,
fucking book.
It's, whatever years later. So, he wanted the kids to go home and do a Venn diagram, right? The circles and the things that are the same and different.
Okay.
Right, of your mom and your dad.
Oh, okay.
So my son comes home and he tells me this story and he goes, Mom, so he said he wanted us to do the Venn diagram where you've got your mom and your dad and then the circle of the things that are the same in the middle of the things that are different. And he said, and I was in class and I sat there, Mom, and I did this.
Yeah.
Slowly put his hand up. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I said, what do you want me to do?
Yes.
And oh yeah, your parents. But here's the thing. So my son he's confident, but he wasn't the only kid with two moms in the class. His bestest buddy's got two moms. And but here's what really pisses me off, because my kid's confident, he's fed, he's got two parents that love him, he's a healthy, strong young man, and same with his best friend, right? Very blessed, we're very privileged, we know that. there's another young man in that class who does not have a present father at all in his life. And that pisses me off more than the heteronormative,
that's right,
shit that this teacher does all the time. And he'll continue to do it. I can guarantee you that this year he said online, okay, I want you to compare your moms and dads. So I was more,
I'm sure.
I was more pissed off about the other kid in the class who doesn't have a dad at all, right?
That's right.
So anyway, so I've always really opened to instructing people on that stuff. And so we did those interviews, and that was really fun. And I'll send you the website for that, and where we were being interviewed on different topics, and my boys are in it too. And they didn't talk much. There was a lot of this, a lot of,
sit and slouch, of teenage angst,
a lot of teenage sit.
Yeah.
But they participated, and it was great. And my wife participated too. And it's obvious that I do a lot of talking, and I'm comfortable doing it. Out of the gang of us. Love. Yeah. So we did that. And way back when we first got together, we did, or we're having kids, we did an interview with Emma Donahue. She wrote Room.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
She wrote Room. So she lives in our neighborhood.
Oh, cool.
With her wife and kids. And we did a documentary with her called Immaculate Conception, and it was all about women having babies.
That's awesome.
And I don't know how to find that. It's somewhere. But they were babies, and we were chubby. It was great. I mean, I still am, but I'm thinner now.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, it's okay. It's all underneath the camera. That's my TikToks are from here up.
As you can see us.
But I can still run for 45 minutes and ride my bike for an hour and a half. But I'm chubby.
Right. Can't do that.
That's right.
It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right. Those are the different interviews that I've done, and yeah.
So what made you decide to get on TikTok to begin?
Oh, well, you said it yourselves at the beginning. You were talking about, Black Asian descent. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And Black descent, and I have a 17-year-old Black son who wears a do-rag and a hoodie because he's got waves, and they're beautiful, right? He brushes those babies like he's on it, right? He's beautiful.
Yes.
And when that boy goes out and gets in the car and drives, I'm terrified. I'm like, please don't wear your hoodie. Please, do you have to wear your do-rag when you go out? And I said, listen, I feel like a bitch saying that to you, and my wife does too. We both say it to him, because we said, we live in a city where you're not, it's not the places in, I'm going to say the States, but it's also not Toronto, right? Yes. Where there's a higher risk, of course, but it still exists. It just exists. And I said, the reason I know it exists is because even me growing up in the town I grew up in, I had people telling me to be careful of those guys, and I didn't even know who they were, right?
Yes.
So I'll tell you now, I never was worried about those guys, and I was friends with those guys, and fuck everybody else. So I might not have hung out with them, but I would talk to them every time there was time to talk to them.
What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
So anyway, but there was all of the media and constant dialogue about police and Blue Lives Matter, and not all cops are bad, and people missing the point.
Yep.
And
pretty much.
And people missing the point that were really nice people, because they have grandsons or brothers that are police officers. And I can appreciate their desire to stand up for their family. I also wonder if their family's saying, yeah, I'm a great guy. The system's up.
Yeah.
That's
right.
So I would go on Facebook, and it would be a friend's, fifth cousin buddy on whatever making a comment on a post. And so I felt it, though, because it was on my friend's post. So I would get on there and I would speak up.
Yeah.
And then my friend would say, no, this person's a great person. I'm like, yeah. Okay. So just ignore him. That, he's a farmer. He's a man. And so not all farmers aren't all right.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah. But so my wife watched me stand up for my wife and stand up for my son. And my other son is half black, but he very much looks white. At the same time, if he was in the right crowd, he wouldn't be.
Right.
And I think you understand that.
Yes.
More than I do.
Right.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
You're either not white enough or not black enough sometimes,
Totally.
and that's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is my learning that I'm doing. Right. We're all aware that I would grow up in a house that was very accepting and very open, and I am still a person that needs to learn anti-racism. I still have to learn it.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
So I still have to learn it. It doesn't matter because it's all around me. So Facebook was killing my soul. I was stuck in the house because of the pandemic. I was defending my family constantly and battling with people who are my friends, but I'm not, again, if any of my friends hear this, I told them all that I know it's this person or I know it's that person, but anyway, I couldn't take the challenge anymore. So instead I started making videos where we did turn around,
Yes.
and then lip syncing. I want people to know I'm a homosexual. Like I started going on TikTok. Anyway, actually, instead I went on, my sister said, start watching these TikToks. They're so funny. Well, within 3 seconds, the algorithm's like, oh, she's a big lesbian. And that was it. I was in lesbian TikTok, and I see a lot of, sorry, let's pause for laughter. There's so much laughter that there's no breath.
That's hilarious.
2 seconds.
That was funny.
Yes.
Yeah. So it figured it out really quickly. And
Really
so then
all women are in lesbian TikTok, by the way.
I agree. I think they should be, because I think that
it's so true. There's more straight women on lesbian TikTok.
Absolutely. That's great. And well, I'll speak about that in a minute, but for me, it was just, I went there and I could disconnect. And if somebody said something offensive, it was really easy for me to swipe, because there was no connection. There's no connection with those people. Now, that's not saying that I'm not actually connected with people on TikTok.
Of course.
But as soon as somebody says something to me, there was a woman that I started following, and we were following each other, and she was talking about all behaviorists are this and that. I'm like, and so I asked something, and she said, no, I'm not going to defend my thing. And so I blocked her, because it's just,
here you go.
It's so quiet. It's
I don't know.
Yeah. Easy. So just easy. So I might say something to somebody if they suddenly really offend me. And if I felt like I knew them or something, but the relationships we're just trying to get each other through this and send joy. And so it's been great. Really easy to do. And my kids tolerate me a little bit. And I still get embarrassed if they come into the kitchen and I'm in the middle of a TikTok. I'm like, go away. Come on. Shh, leave me alone. So they're all made in the morning when nobody's up yet, or in the kitchen. I know it's a little there. Yeah. Should show that side.
So I have one last question.
Okay.
What's next?
I don't know. I mean, I work full time.
Yeah.
And the thing about TikToks is I can make a video. I can make a video in 5 minutes. And if I can, in 5 minutes, share, I mean, I think about it for a while. Some of them you don't think about. It's a great sound. Make the sound, something about coffee. Hi, love you, have a hug, go to work.
Yes.
Those ones are good. But I can, so maybe it's 15, 20 minutes because I'm thinking about something and I want to share it. If I can teach someone how absolutely mainstream my life is, and my family is, and my children and my wife are, and there's no pausing when I talk about my family, none. And I think that if I can quickly do that and answer somebody's question without it being angry, because there's so many people that only know how to answer in an angry way.
Right.
And so if I can do that really quickly in 5-15 minutes, it's worth it to do. So I think I can just keep doing that. I don't think it has to be bigger than that. We're gonna, I want to retire in 5 years. I mean, I'm not saying I won't be on TikTok in 5 years, but I don't know what it will look like when I go back to work and the gym is open. And the gym is open, but you got to book it and you got to go for 45 minutes. The pool's not open, but so I don't know what's next. I think that what I've learned from TikTok, I'll bring into my life as much as I'll continue to bring my life into TikTok. So, and I still go on Facebook sometimes, but
yeah,
not necessary. Not necessary.
Just to say happy birthday and
that's where I keep it at too.
Exactly.
Keep it pushing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like to see the memories, right?
Yes.
The Facebook memories when your kids were babies.
Yep. I do enjoy those. Yeah. Well, Paul, I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For coming on. We really, really appreciate your time, and we appreciate your TikToks. You make me happy. You make me smile. I love your wife. I love you.
Me too.
Your boys, they're amazing. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
I just realized today that I didn't follow you back. So, and I know you only have a couple of videos, but
I have like 2 videos on TikTok.
I've seen them both. One, there's a flood.
I have none.
And
I
you
just
have
follow,
none? Do you follow me and
like
I don't follow you?
About 500 people, but I have no videos. Yeah, I just watch. I love.
Will you send me a message though? Because then I can. Yeah. Because if you comment on something, you're like, oh, a nice little comment, and I don't know who you are. And this is, I mean, I know you finished, but like, I will get about 300 notifications a day because of likes and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like somebody commented once, I'm like, oh, thanks. And they're like, hey. I'm like, oh, hey, here's my brother. He's my brother. And I'm like, well, dude, your name is like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't even like, and I go to your page and it says Halifax. Like, I don't know who you are. And so it's terrible when it's impersonal, but when people comment regularly, I get to know them. Yeah. And I have 82,000 followers.
Yes.
But really, it's only a small group of people that really interact with you.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what my favorite part. So please send me a message.
Okay. I will.
So I know
Thank you for that.
People don't talk because they probably like, she has no video. Who is she? And you get thousands or hundreds of
notifications.
So that's why I get lost, I guess, when I reach out to people and I say stuff and they don't answer back. They're like, what is this weirdo who's blocked private and she wants to talk to people?
That's true.
Well, when you send me a message, I can follow you so that unless you don't want that, then if I can just accept the message, we can chat all the time.
Oh, good.
Easy peasy.
I hope we could do this again.
Yes, and I hope that you come down to New York, like when the panorama is, kind of settled.
The Patricia. Somebody called it a Patricia the other day. I'm like, that's me. That's my name. It is.
Okay, boo.
You just told us. That's
it's Patricia. Yeah.
Yes. Look at that. Yeah, see, and we would have gotten off, and I've been like, "Motherfucker, I forgot to."
What's her real
freaking
name?
About.
Okay, but my work email's Pa. Everything's Pa, and I've actually, I felt really uncomfortable about it for years, and this is the whole I'm she her. That's me. I'm that's me. That's who I am. The people that are they them are they thems and so on. But I finally said at work, it was about a year and a half ago, and I felt really uncomfortable. I said, I want to change my email to Pa, please. Pa.lemon, whatever. And they're like, oh, well, we have to do. I said, did you ask Sue? And they're like, well, I'm like, but like her name is Susan. Did you ask? Like, so I want my email. And they're like, yeah. Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, but I think it people see it as a nickname, and it's actually not a nickname for me. So, yeah.
There you go.
Well, to my listeners, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope that you listen to the next one. We love you all so much. Pa, thank you so much again for talking to us. So appreciate you. Say goodbye to the peoples. We are out.